The violin and viola look very similar. They both belong to the string instrument family, and they are both played with a bow under the chin. That being said, there are a few key differences between the violin and viola that give each instrument its unique voice. Let's take a look in this video about the differences between a violin and a viola for your better understanding. Now, let's start the video. Having the introduction in mind, let's have a look at the 5 differences between violin and viola. The violin is a bit smaller than the viola. A typical full-size violin is about 36 cm, 14 inches, while a full-size viola is around 40 cm, about 60. Even though this size might vary, it is no smaller than 38 cm. Therefore, it is still bigger than the violin. Also, the body of the instrument is wider and deeper. The size is one of the first differences to spot when looking at both instruments. They're not that easy from a distance, as the difference is not great. While this might not seem much, it makes quite the difference in sound tone. So, for the viola to be able to play the lower frequencies, it needs this extra size. The violin and the viola use different bows. The violin bow is longer and slimmer and weighs about 10 grams less than the viola's bow. This is because the strings of the viola are heavier. So, you need a heavier bow to produce a clear sound in the lower frequencies. A little hard to see is the difference in the bow's frog, which is chunkier and often curved compared to the straight edge on a violin bow. This has to do with how you hold the bow in each instrument to create the different sound that is needed. Those might seem slight differences, but for an experienced player, they make a stark difference. While there are 5-string violins and violas, let's talk about standard 4-stringed instruments. The violin strings are G, D, A, E, starting from the lowest one. The viola is tuned in fifths just like the violin, but instead of having the high E, it has a low C, which is 1 octave below the middle C. Moreover, viola strings are a bit thicker than violin strings. The violin produces high-pitched clear notes, and for that reason, it is a prominent solo or melody instrument. The viola produces lower notes, but not as low as the cello, and the tone is mellower. That makes the viola a perfect balancer between the string instrument family. Neither is better than the other. Both instruments have their advantages and disadvantages. If you like fast passages, clear sound, and high-pitched notes, then the violin is better for you. If you prefer slow, dark, and mellow notes, and your fingers are not that slim, then viola is better for you. In an orchestra, the viola might not be as loud as a violin or other string instruments. But volume is not everything, as each instrument has its uses. Both instruments are needed to create a beautiful listening experience. Usually, violas are more expensive than violins within the same quality range. Since the viola is larger than the violin, it costs a bit more, though usually not that much more. A slightly more expensive price might be also caused by supply and demand, since not as many violas are sold compared to violins. Yes, viola and violin use the same technique, but with slight differences. If you're familiar with playing the violin, you can play the viola too, to a point. You'll notice that the bow is not moving the same way, and you'll have to place your left hand fingers wider. Changing positions feels a bit different too. We are almost wrapping up. These are the common differences between these two. Hope you like this video. Please comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos.